let me show you guys how to do the lockdown first. So the lockdown, if you guys remember, I talk a lot about using this hook. The lockdown's kind of similar, where I step over, I like triangle my own leg, and then I stretch him out. But yeah, it's the outside leg, hooks over, triangle, this one catches.
And then so.
This works great, especially when Chris has head and arm control. This is a great way to manipulate somebody's weight so they can't pressure you very well. I can start to move Chris in different ways. And it can be very frustrating if you don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of people try to like knee slice out of it or do weird things and they hurt their own knee, so it can be a little scary. So as long as I'm up here, the lockdown's incredibly strong. So what I do as soon as I feel it is I go hands on their body and push my weight down. If you just move down, that's fine too, but a lot of times they're gonna follow you and get underhooked. So that's why I like this push down. Now I go to the hip and I put my weight on this leg. From here now, I can just bring my heel like towards my butt and kick to the floor. And I'm out of the thing. Now the problem is people then start to just come right back and the guy puts it on again. Exactly. So I move back, heavy, get through. Now I like to use this hook to open. From here, I can start passing. You're not always gonna get the pass super clean like that. Sometimes it's like you kind of start passing, but at least now I'm not in the lockdown, there's a game to play. So we're just killing the lockdown first, and then if you can pass, great. If not, we'll talk about other stuff to do once we get there. Chris needs my knees on the floor and like my shin laying across the floor to effectively put the lockdown. Exactly. So now I gotta do all my different little escapes and get out. But say, try to put the lockdown down. It doesn't work just because my foot's up and my knees. So you can do it from like a low on the hips, but right now let's just go here. So say I feel Chris starting to dig for it, I'm turning my hip. So my left hip, sorry, yell in my face there. My left hip falls to the floor, this knee starts to sneak under, and I step this foot to the floor. So now here, I'm always wiggling my heel closer to Chris's butt. It's hard to do in like motion, so I use that grip on the floor to help get me there. This foot, I always have my toe ready. Honestly, I get a ton of passes off of, for Chris, like the natural reaction a lot of people do is they bridge into you. They feel like they can roll you, but he has to put his foot on the floor, which makes it very easy to get at. But I won't have time if like this foot's here. Chris bridges now, I'm getting rolled. By having my toe out here, Chris bridges. Now I can control the position of weight. Here, with this hand to keep good pressure, I kind of reach like low into his back, and I'm always keeping my head really tight in this position because they're gonna want to push you up here, which is not the worst thing in the world. But if I get too far away, danger. So like I'm usually just staying really, really tight. You can feed the lapel to this hand as well to act as like an underhook and free this hand. Here I usually like to control their hip. If they bridge, like once I go here, I usually hang out for a second because I know they're gonna bridge and that first pass happens a lot. But if Chris is just trying to maintain half guard, yeah, I go hand to the hip and I use my elbow to start to clear the space. Now I lift my foot off the floor and I'm gonna drive my knee over his thigh, not toward his hip. Out this way. I get my underhook, I bring my chest on top of his face, sorry buddy, and I sprawl my hip down. We tend to do this. Not great. Here, flat body. Now I can take my time and get free. Be patient there. Don't rush the pass. It sucks having your face smashed by the guy's chest, so hang out there, let him suffer. So I get my position, I come, elbow. The reason I don't like to go right here is I feel like it's much easier for Chris to kind of like hip escape and get his guard back. It kind of naturally puts my knee back in. When I go like out here, try to turn back into me, it kind of opens up the guard pass a lot. Because we have like it pinned here versus here where the knee can move and it's easier for Chris to turn back toward me. Easier to turn back in when I'm on the hip. Does that make sense? Back down, buddy, sorry. So we have passing the mount. Here we talked a little bit about too, is I go here, say, sorry, let's turn this one. Very annoying position. Say Chris won't let me get the underhook here. I'll put my head into the floor and fight to the underhook on the opposite side. Now I just raise my hip, bring my knee in that space, and use that to pry my leg free. And I do like a reverse knee slice. So you have a couple ways to pass right there. You can also do it from like low here. There's nothing wrong, right? We just passed. I don't have head control though. That's like the big difference. So I start to come. If I get my underhook, I pass one way. Chris doesn't give me the underhook, but I get the underhook on the other side. I pass. Anyway. I find a very effective way to pass the guard and prevent a lot of like their attacks. This is good too if they get the, say, I kind of have Chris flattened, but he gets the underhook. I can turn to this right away. And now I can start playing the skin game here. And attack. So it's a good way to shut down a lot of the half guard bottom guys' offensive game. Surprisingly simple. Let's try it out. 1, 2.